The tires crunched against the dirt road as I pulled up to our family's coastal retreat in Willow Bay, Oregon, on a chilly October afternoon in 2024. My 16-year-old daughter, Lily, sat beside me, her hands twisting the hem of her faded denim jacket. This weathered beach house, with its salt-streaked shingles and creaky porch overlooking the Pacific, hadn't seen us since my wife, Emma, passed away 10 months ago. Lily's shoulders stiffened as memories of her mother flooded back summers chasing waves, Emma's laughter echoing through the dunes. Our old home in Portland had become a tomb of sorrow, each room heavy with grief. Lily hadn't really smiled since we lost Emma. Her therapist urged us to find a place tied to joy, and this beach house was where our family had once been whole. I killed the engine, glancing at Lily's pale face, her eyes distant. We'd been surviving, not living, and I was desperate to see even a flicker of the vibrant girl she used to be. Lily stepped out slowly, drawn to the backyard where a driftwood bench sat beneath a gnarled pine. Emma had loved that bench, sketching the ocean while the tide rolled in. Lily approached it like it was sacred, brushing her fingers over the worn wood. Then, something miraculous happened. She sat down, leaned back, and let out a soft, genuine laugh, a sound I hadn't heard in months. The ocean breeze carried it, and I fumbled for my phone, tears blurring my vision as I recorded her joy. I was so lost in the moment that I didn't notice the woman striding toward us until she was practically in our yard. She was in her late 50s, with a sharp bob haircut and a navy blazer that screamed authority. Her name, I'd soon learn, was Vivian, the self-proclaimed queen of the Willow Bay HOA. "I'm the Homeowners Association president," she announced, her voice slicing through Lily's laughter like a blade. "Did you clear your arrival with the board?" Lily froze, her smile vanishing, and retreated behind me, her light snuffed out. I kept my tone even, explaining we were just settling Lily's things into our family's beach house. But Vivian wasn't here to listen. She eyed Lily with disdain, muttering about unruly teens, and began circling our property, snapping photos with her phone like a detective at a crime scene. She jotted notes in a sleek notebook, inspecting our car's license plate, and muttering about upholding community standards. Lily shrank further, her eyes wide with the same fear I'd seen when we lost Emma in the hospital. Vivian's parting shot was chilling. "We'll see who's out of place here." It wasn't a neighborly warning, it was a declaration of war. As she stormed off, Lily whispered, "Dad, she scares me." I hugged her tight, watching Vivian disappear into her pristine cottage, already plotting her next move. Little did I know, within hours, she'd unleash a nightmare that would shake our world. 2 hours later, as I unpacked boxes in the kitchen, the sound of slamming car doors jolted me. Through the window, I saw 2 police SUVs and a social services van blocking our driveway. My stomach dropped. Lily, upstairs arranging her room, raced to the window and gasped, "Dad, why are they here?" Her voice trembled, raw with panic. I tried to stay calm, but inside, I was seething. Vivian had called the cops on us. Officer Daniels, a gruff man with a clipboard, knocked and explained they'd received a report of a suspicious man with a distressed minor, possible kidnapping or abuse. The words hit like a punch. Vivian had accused me of abducting my own daughter. A social worker, MS. Carter, insisted on interviewing Lily alone, citing protocol. Lily clung to me, sobbing, begging not to be taken away. I started recording on my phone, a habit from battling insurance companies during Emma's illness. As MS. Carter spoke with Lily, I handed Officer Daniels our IDs, Lily's birth certificate, custody papers, and her counseling records. He was thorough but fair, asking why we'd come to the beach house. Meanwhile, Lily's cries echoed from the living room, recounting her mother's death and her terror of losing me too. Then Vivian appeared, striding across our lawn to speak to MS. Carter. Instead of backing off, she leaned into her lies, claiming Lily's hysterical crying was proof of abuse. I snapped, telling Officer Daniels she was slandering us for moving into our own home. Vivian's fake concern, "I'm just protecting our children," barely hid her glee. But the evidence was clear. Our documents checked out, the property was ours, and Lily's counselor confirmed her grief, not abuse. The officers apologized, warning Vivian about false reports, but the damage was done. Lily was a wreck, trembling as neighbors gawked from their porches, whispering and judging. That night, as Lily finally slept after hours of tears, I sat on the porch, fury burning. Vivian had weaponized the police to terrorize my grieving daughter. But she'd picked the wrong fight. I'm a data analyst who works remotely. Time, resources, and a knack for solving problems are my tools. If Vivian wanted war, I'd fight on my terms. The next morning, our mailbox was stuffed with official violation notices. $1,000 for unauthorized residency, $500 for noise during move-in, $700 for unkempt landscaping, $400 for improper trash placement. Total, $2,600 in fines for 1 day of normal life. The letterhead looked legit, citing HOA codes, but something felt off. The language was stilted, the codes vague. Lily, exhausted and anxious, showed me her laptop. "Dad, our beach house isn't on any HOA registry." She'd scoured online forums and property records, finding no trace of our address under Willow Bay's HOA. Neighbors avoided us, spooked by a community post Vivian had spread, painting us as transient squatters with a troubled teen. Blurry photos of Lily crying after the police visit fueled vicious rumors. Drug issues, domestic violence, all lies. Lily was humiliated, her pain plastered online for strangers to dissect. I started digging into Vivian. Public records revealed she was in a bitter custody battle, desperate to prove her community leadership to sway her case. She needed a villain, and we were it. But Lily's late-night research uncovered the real bombshell. In a dusty attic box, she found a 1993 HOA agreement with my grandfather's supposed signature. "Dad, look closer," she said, holding a magnifying glass to compare it with his old letters. The signature was a blatant forgery. Then she cross-checked dates. Our beach house was built in 1990, but the HOA wasn't formed until 1994. Oregon law was clear: existing homes are exempt unless owners opt in. We owed Vivian nothing. Her fines, her threats, her entire reign were a sham. The clincher came in a sealed envelope hidden behind old photos, a 1995 county letter confirming our property's permanent HOA exemption. It cited Oregon's anti-harassment laws, with $12,000 fines per violation. A note from my grandfather read, "For my future kin, may this home be your haven, free from tyrants." Lily and I wept, feeling his protection across decades. Vivian's 14 violation notices over 3 days? That was $168,000 in potential fines, plus charges for defamation, emotional distress, and false police reports. She'd built a fraud empire, targeting other exempt homes too, and we had the evidence to burn it down. Instead of confronting her, I played smart. I invited neighbors to a coastal heritage walk to learn about Willow Bay's pre-HOA history. About 20 showed up, curious. I displayed our 1990 building permit, the 1994 HOA incorporation, and the exemption letter, explaining Oregon law in plain terms. Neighbors gasped, realizing their older homes might be exempt too. Vivian crashed the event, shouting about illegal gatherings, but her tantrum backfired. I calmly showed the exemption letter, and people started questioning her. An elderly couple, the Parkers, tearfully shared how Vivian's fees had drained their savings for years. The community's trust in her crumbled. Vivian retaliated with an emergency HOA meeting to ban us, threatening lawsuits and seizures. I RSVP'd with a grin, ready to end her. The community center was packed, tension thick as Vivian delivered a theatrical speech, waving photos of our beach house and warning of chaos if we weren't expelled. Her supporters cheered, but she made a fatal mistake letting me respond. I stood, heart steady, and projected my evidence: the 1990 permit, the 1994 HOA filing, the exemption letter, and a list of Vivian's 14 violations. $168,000 in fines. "I'm not suing the HOA," I said, locking eyes with her. "I'm suing you, Vivian, personally, for harassment, defamation, and tormenting my daughter." The room went silent. Vivian paled, stammering, as her lawyer whispered frantically. Neighbors demanded her resignation. Some apologized to Lily, horrified they'd been duped. Within 24 hours, Vivian's lawyer dropped her, urging a settlement. The HOA board ousted her unanimously, issuing a public apology. She paid damages, legal fees, and a penalty for harming Lily, plus a restraining order and a humiliating newsletter apology. She fled Willow Bay within weeks, reportedly selling car warranties now. Other families, like the Parkers, learned their homes were exempt, saving thousands. Lily blossomed, installing a new bench by the ocean, laughing again. We hung a sign, Seaside Haven Est. 1990, guarded by Grandpa since 1995, HOA free forever. This wasn't just our win, it was justice for a community conned by a bully. But it makes you wonder, how many Vivians are out there, hiding behind fake authority? Have you faced an HOA tyrant who crossed the line? Drop your story below. Should people like Vivian face jail time for fraud, or is public shame enough? Would you risk everything to protect your family like I did? Like, comment, and subscribe for more stories where justice hits hard.